Hi guys, my name's Amber and welcome back to Motor Spins. Today we're going to be showing off my 1993 Toyota Supra. So a little history with this Supra. I got this back when I was 12-year-old. It was my family car and they first came in 1970 and they were known as the Celica. This is the MK4 model and it's the 4th generation. Mostly these cars are known for their motor. It has a 2JZ GE engine. Most of them that you can modify are the 2JZ GTE engine, which are a little different, and we can go into that when we go into the hood of the car. Starting off with my headlights, I actually have the little JDM side markers. Usually most of these don't have them, so that is kind of cool. JDM is the Japanese domestic market, and then I also have these JDM side markers. So in Japan, like, you don't have to have the red and orange for the regulations. Usually those ones are orange and the back ones are red. They have the orange LED lights in there. You can kind of see them if you look a little close. And then the back ones have the red one. So the reason that I did these side markers was for the look, because I like the whole blackout look. Eventually I want to do my headlights as well and do the little black insides. But these are usually orange and the back ones are red. And here in North America, the regulations to have the orange and the black, but the JDM culture for Japanese domestic market is that you can do those. And so I went ahead and did those. And then going on to the wheels, we have the slice rotors in the back. Those are for, so when the air goes in, and then it's easier to brake with these LS400. These are from another car, along with my wheels that are from Carbine. And then we have these tires that are the 595 RSRRs. They are so that it's better to grip to the car, or better to grip to the road, so that when you're going at faster speeds, you can make tighter turns. So these are the JDM side skirts with a little bit of extra aero on them. These did not come with the car and they're an aftermarket modification. And then going over to the back of the trunk, we have my OEM wing. So this is the original wing. Most of the Supras that are not turbo do not come with the wing because this produces downforce for your car. And this one we added on later when I brought it back home. And then going on, we also added the 98 tail lights. So these are also not originally with the car. And then I just added some LEDs in here. And then going down to my exhaust, we have the Blitz Nurspect. And then it has a silencer inside of it. Usually you don't have to take them, but with regulations in California, you can't have your car that over a certain amount of noise or a modified exhaust. So I have that in there just so it's easier. So going back to the rear windshield wiper, this is the OEM one. Most people delete these ones, so they take all this out, and that's for like weight reduction. I've kept mine because it's easier, and I also daily drove this one since I was 16. So part of the reason is I wanted it more functional. And then this is also my radio antenna, and then usually people delete that one as well. This one, go ahead, it goes down all the way. A lot of people get like the little stubs and stuff, but I've decided to keep this as well because I still use my radio. So looking into the engine, this is the 2JZ GE engine. So we have the air intake that goes around on top. Usually the other ones, this is relocated, and then in this one it's not. So that's why it looks a little bbit different. And then usually people swap these ones out, but you can also add a turbo kit to them. They just won't hold as much power as a regular 2J GTE or the twin turbo edition. So this one will hold about 220 horsepower and 210 torque. In Japan, they held like a handshake agreement that they didn't want the engines over a certain amount of power just for safety protocol, but these engines can handle quite a bit of power once you start modifying them. So my car currently has 160,000 miles. In Japan, most all of the Toyotas came with the 2JZ for a time period. You could pick them up for pretty cheap back then, and now they're pretty expensive. But they're built really well, and I have been daily driving it since I was 16, and the previous owner before me was daily driving it. And they can usually go for like 250 miles, if not more. I have some friends that drive them past that. So looking at this, this is a panel that I got from a manual car, and I went ahead and switched this one over just for looks. And then this is a shift knob that my dad handmade. And then it also has the button so you're able to shift into different gears. And then just like some other little things I added some cup holders. Usually the car doesn't come with cup holders. As you can see, it kind of bumps still. And then I still have the radio. We still have all of the back seats back here. A lot of times people will delete them just so it makes their car go faster. I've kept them, and then I also have a fire extinguisher back there. And then looking at the dashboard, it's kind of like a cockpit style. All the clusters, what would you call that, are faced towards you. And then this is more for like a driver friendly versus like the passenger. So I have control of all of the controls. Usually they call this like the cockpit or like the jet. And then also going to the top of my roof, this is the Targa Top edition. So this actually comes off. You have to take off these two bolts and this bolt in the back, and then you unlock it right here. In Fast and Furious, Paul Walker actually has like a personalized one that you can just like snap and push it off, but it's really not like that in person. So now we're gonna go ahead and take my car for a drive. I also have a cool feature on my key fob that I can automatically start it, so let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and go. So one thing that I really like about this car is that it's super user friendly and it drives really well. The car, usually people do it for different events like drift and drag racing, but you can also daily drive it. I have a lot of friends that daily drive theirs as well, and it's lasted for a long time. And then like also with the car, it has a really wide visibility. Some of the other cars aren't as visible as this one. This one has a really big a really big windshield. And then the back windshield's also very curved so you can see through it. So like some fun stories with my car is that a lot of people started saying, is that a Supra? So I usually hear that about 5 times a day, and I always have people recording me. So that is why I put my tags on the side, so I get probably about 10% of those videos. But it's still pretty cool to see it on the road and watch people get super happy. I think the youngest kid that has ever said that was like a 3-year-old when I was in the Chick-fil-A. He told his mom like, oh mom, that's the Fast and Furious car. So that's really cool. It's never given me like bad problems, or if it has, it's always like failed in my driveway. So that's really nice. It always usually pushes through anything. There's like Supra meetups too. Usually they have like an event they do in Long Beach, and we also get together sometimes. I know that for when the new one came out, the new Toyota Supra, we all got together and I went ahead and test drove that one. And that's like one thing that I like about this car more than the other one is that like it had the back seats, and also like the view is a lot different versus like the MK5 is very straightforward when you're driving it. And this one's more like aimed towards the driver. So thanks for watching. This is my 1993 Toyota Supra. Go ahead and click subscribe to Motor Spins, and we'll see you next week. Bye.